Merhaba. In the previous video, we started talking about the possessives and you've been doing well. You can say now benim kitabım, onun okulu, senin ağacın. You're already pretty comfortable with these. So now it's time to take a step further and talk about complications of possessives, specifically in third person. So I will focus on the third person in this video and share with you the ways to use the third person possessive. So in English, there are two ways of saying expressing possessions in the third person. Hasan's book, the book of Hasan, right? In Turkish, it is Hasan'ın kitabı, okay? And so you see, I used apostrophe after Hasan because it's a proper name. We already learned to use apostrophe after proper names. And in here, it also appears. But let's say that we want to put O, the third person pronoun for replacing Hasan. Let's say that we're going to say his book instead of Hasan'ın kitabı. We say Onun kitabı. So Hasan replaced with Onun, right? So Onun kitabı is the same meaning with Hasan'ın kitabı. Let's say that Hasan is a teacher. So we're gonna replace now Onun with öğretmenin, right? Öğretmenin kitabı. All right, so far so good. I want to do one more thing. Let's say that now the book is the courses book, not öğretmenin, but the courses book. So it's going to be dersin kitabı, right? Öğretmenin kitabı, dersin kitabı. You see how it works? Because O, the third person singular, can be a human being, or a concept, or an object. So these would work for both öğretmenin kitabı and dersin kitabı. So for instance, let me give you more examples in the same way. Sınıfın kapısı, the door of the classroom. Arabanın rengi, the color of the car. Elif'in kahvesi, Elif's coffee. Öğrencinin sorusu, the student's question. So you see all of these are in third person, and it's very useful to express possession in both including human beings or two objects, sometimes like sınıfın kapısı, right? So let's say that we want to say the teacher's book's color is red. The color of the teacher's book is red. So you see, there are two possessives in here. Teacher's book, the book's color, or its color, right? So you can do that as well in Turkish. These are like chain possessives. You can add multiple possessions to each other. So in Turkish, this would be öğretmenin kitabının rengi kırmızı. So I put, each possessive structure in a square bracket. Öğretmenin kitabı, onun rengi. You see, there are two possessives here. And so each bracket you can treat it as O, onun, all right? And the following is going to be, whatever you add, the possessed thing is going to be added as if it's adding to the third person. Okay, lots of words I said right now. Probably it's not that complicated, but because you can do this, it's very useful, especially now that we are learning the family vocabulary. Annem, baba, kardeş. We will need to use multiple possessives, and in Turkish this can go forever. Of course, I won't do that, but we might want to use 3 of them. All right. So for instance, we want to say annemin adı. There's already two. Annem is the first one, my mother. Annemin adı, my mother's name, right? So, and that actually, like, practicing on these examples is going to be very helpful for you to understand. But let's say that I also want to say my mother's sister's name is Ayşe. So you're going to need three this time. Annemin kardeşinin adı Ayşe. So annem is the first one. Annemin kardeşi, the second one. Annemin kardeşinin adı, the third one. Right? So let's go back to my first example because I want to add one more thing to this discussion. As you will put possessives in sentences, you will probably need to use case endings as well because like any other nouns, possessive phrases can take case endings. And we learned one case ending so far, the locative case, right? So let's add the locative case to one of the examples we used in this video. For instance, Onun kitabı, we started with that one. Öğretmenin kitabı, Hasan'ın kitabı. So Onun kitabı. We're gonna say that his book, there are pictures in his book, right? So we need to add locative case to onun kitabı. So onun kitabında resimler var. So and you see that there's ne popping up there because before the case endings, this name appears because case endings are stressable suffixes. You see how I'm saying onun kitabında? You say the ne, right? So this ne appears before case endings if they're attached to possessive nouns. Okay, so onun evinde, onun mutfağında. So it's going to be there all the time. And you may ask what happened to the se. We already learned, for instance, onun arabası. There's a se buffer, in third person. It's going to stay there. The first one is going to be se. The second one is going to be ne if the case ending is attached. So it's going to be onun arabasında. Okay. Onun okulunda. There's no se, but arabasında because araba ends with vowel. Okay. So there are lots of examples in your worksheet. Pay attention to these details, and I will also add more examples with the first person, second person. But you'll see the third person is a little bit more, needs attention. Let's put it that way. And it's going to be very useful. We use them frequently. And for instance, next week we're going to talk about to define locations. You will need both possessives and locative case. And we will also talk about the compound nouns because you already started asking about them. I think it's time to talk about the compound nouns. But of course, everything is step by step. So study this video and pay attention to the details and do your exercises carefully. I will see you in class. Görüşürüz.